Okay, today I want to show you a very much a beginner's workout, a way of really starting to get yourself into the game and teach yourself some real basics of the game and get yourself confident in what you're trying to do as well. This routine has kind of been born out of a conversation that I had with Gareth Potts, one of the legends of the game. We were just discussing and playing around with different ideas of trying to make the game as simple as possible for beginners to learn. And I really like this routine. It's going to sort of start off very, very simple, and then we're just going to increase the difficulty just one by one, just to help building up our belief and our confidence as we're going through as well. So what is the routine? Well, it's a really simple one. All we have to do, put the 8 ball right in the center of the table, and then we're going to put a red just below it, somewhere here. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but roughly as I have here. And then we get cue ball in hand, and all we have to do is clear the table, and we can put the cue ball wherever we like. So let's try that. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to come a little bit low on it, so somewhere here, and all I'm going to do is play a soft stun shot onto the 8 ball. Now the red's in, just pop the 8 ball. This time we're going to increase the difficulty by adding another ball onto the table. So now we've got 2 reds in the 8 ball, and again, all we have to do is pop the 2 reds in the 8 ball. Let's make the clearance. We have to pop the bottom one first, then this one, then the 8 ball. So we're going to take it in those 3 steps. Place the cue ball wherever we want, and let's try and keep it as natural as possible. So how do we want to go about it? Well, I'm just going to play a simple, I want it to be natural, so I'm going to play the roll through shot, leave myself this red into this center pocket, and to hopefully naturally get myself on the 8 ball. Left myself a nice little angle to stun across for the 8 ball. And simple enough on the 8 ball. Okay, so the next step on this routine is to lay them out exactly the same again. We're going to make it one step harder this time because we're going to have to take the one in the middle first, then the bottom one, then the 8 ball. So this time, the positional shot from this red to the 8 ball is going to be slightly trickier than from the middle one. Therefore, it's important we get a good angle on that ball to get nicely onto the 8 ball. But again, it's the same. Let's keep this as simple as possible. Cue ball in hand, place it where we feel comfortable and natural. And for me, I'm going to come around here. I'm just going to leave myself a drop in the center pocket, and I'm just trying to leave myself in this area here just so that I can play a nice comfortable positional shot onto the 8 ball. Left myself the angle I want. Onto the 8 ball. Okay, so the next step on this routine is to reverse it. So we're going to go back to the beginning, we're reversing it, and we're going to go for the yellow and the 8 ball. All we have to do, pop the yellow, pop the 8 ball. So again, it comes down to personal preference. How do you want to go about it? This time I'm going to go leave myself roughly that angle, and I'm just going to play a nice stun shot into the center pocket. Okay, on to the next step. We're going to add another ball in, just like we did when we were at the bottom end of the table. We're adding another ball here at the top end, so 2 yellows this time. We take this yellow first, then we take the middle yellow, then we take the 8 ball, and we can place the cue ball where we want. So I'm just going to place the cue ball by hand. Nice, comfortable, natural shot. I've left myself a nice little comfortable stun shot into the middle pocket. Okay, so we're on to the next one now, and this time, the same as we did at the bottom end, exactly the same layout again at the top end, but this time we have to take the middle yellow first, then this yellow, then the 8 ball. So of course the positional shot from this yellow onto the 8 ball is going to be trickier than it is off this ball. So that's why we're increasing it. So let's just give ourselves a nice comfortable natural angle. Again, it's all about picking what you want and how you want to go about it. Okay, so we move on to the next one, and this time I've laid out with 2 yellows and 2 reds and the 8 balls. We've got 5 balls on the table this time, but it's the same. We have to clear the whole table. This time we're going to have to take the reds first, then the yellows, but we're going to take the bottom red first, then we're going to take this red, and then we're going to take this yellow, then we're going to take this yellow. So we're just working our way up the table, and we're going to make it, again, as natural as possible. I want to just drop that into the center, leave myself somewhere in this area here, just lower straight to be able to drift up the table, and then I can clear the top half of the table simply as well. So very, very simple. Cue ball wherever I want. Left myself an natural angle just to drift up the table for the one in the middle. Middle of the 3, that is. Again, I'm on a natural angle, so I'm just going to drift this through. Now I have to use the top cushion, so I'm just going to play with a bit of topspin. So just trying to keep the game as simple as possible, simple shots, just up and down the cue ball. Okay, so I've laid them out the same again, but this time we're going to switch the order of the reds. We're going to keep the back end the same. So we're going to take this middle red first, then we're going to take this bottom red, then this middle yellow, the bottom yellow, then the 8 ball. So that's the order this time, but it sounds a bit more complicated because we're traveling from this one to this one, so the cue ball's traveling further. But I'm still going to try and keep it simple and keep it natural. So for me, I'm still going to try and play the same shot that I played onto the 8 ball to come into this area here. But instead of coming onto the 8 ball, I want to come into this area here for the yellow into the corner. So it's the same shot that I played before, just playing for a slightly different ball. So the first thing I need to do is just by hand give myself the angle I want on this one into the center pocket, roll it in naturally for this red into the corner. Yeah, pretty happy with the angle I've left myself. Just going to play on and off the cushion. I'm going to be leaving the cue ball in this area here for this yellow into the corner. And this time I'm going to play a stun shot on and off the cushion. The natural angle is drifting up this way, but by playing the stun shot, I'm just holding myself in line a little bit more comfortably. So that was just a stun shot, nothing dramatic on that one at all. I've left myself a nice angle on this yellow. I can play it natural and let the cue ball drift into here, leave a cut onto the middle, or I can just widen the angle and come down here so I'm a little bit straighter on it. Personal preference, I'm just going to play the punch shot just to get a bit straighter on the 8 ball. Okay, so the next one on this routine is the same layout once again, so keeping it simple. This time though, we are going to play from the bottom red first, then this red, but the difference this time, we're transitioning to the bottom yellow first. So we have to play the transitional shot from that one, then this yellow last, then this the 8 ball. So we're changing the back end this time. So but I'm still going to try and keep it as natural as possible. I'm only playing the same shots I played before earlier on in this routine. I'm just playing it for a slightly different outcome. I'm going to play this one into the corner, going to leave myself the same angle I left myself on this red to get on the 8 ball, but and when I tried to play onto this yellow here, but I'm just going to leave myself so I can come further down the table. That's the only difference. Just always trying to keep it as natural and simple as possible. So I'm just going to leave myself the angle I want. Left myself just a shade more angle this time because I want to drift further down the table, but it's natural. And I've left myself a nice angle here just to drift through into this area here to play onto this one to get comfortably onto the 8 ball. Just a little stun shot that time. I could have played that natural, the cue ball would have just drifted down into this area here, so I'd have left a thinner cut into the middle, or I could have played it in the corner, but I've just played a nice little stun shot just to hold the cue ball for it into the centre pocket. I've not done anything special with the cue ball there at all. Okay, so we're coming on to the last one of this routine, and this time it's exactly the same layout, the 2 reds, 2 yellows and the 8 ball, but what we're going to do is we're just going to switch the front end of the order, keep the same back end as we've just done. So we're going to play the middle one first to leave the bottom one. So the bottom one, we have to transition from that one all the way down to this one, then the yellow, then the 8 ball, so the cue ball has to move a little bit further. You could play this a few different ways if you wanted to. You can try and leave yourself high on that red so that you can then come around 2 cushions into this area of the table, or you can play the same shot that we've been playing the whole way through this, which is going to be playing that one into the centre, leave myself just a little bit low on that red so that I can just stun up into this area of the table, leave that one into the corner, and then I've got that yellow the same as back end as we've done before. So let's make sure it's set up in pretty much the same way as before. Leave myself that nice natural angle. Which I have done, and I'm just going to play the stun shot just to widen the angle. Cue ball just past the centre pocket would be lovely. Happy with that. Left myself a really nice natural angle, take that into the corner. Cue ball's just going to come naturally on that line there. Leave myself just short of straight on that one, and I'll be absolutely fine. And I've left myself a nice little angle. I'm just going to play a very soft little stun shot. So there you go, that is the workout, that is the routines that you need to do. Starts off very simple. We're going to just increase the difficulty as we work our way through the workout, and it will really just help you to understand and get to grips and get confident with just controlling the cue ball in a very simple way all the time. Always keeping the 8 ball as our last ball. We're always replicating frames of pull, but we're just increasing the difficulty from one routine to the next so that we continue just to build up our knowledge. But you could see there, as I worked my way through it, I kept everything really simple as much as possible. I was leaving myself, when I was getting to place the cue ball by hand, just leaving myself a natural roll through, trying to leave myself an angle for another natural roll through. And if I left a slightly different angle, then I'd just have to play a little bit more of a punch shot, more of a stun shot, just to widen the angle, just to get the position I wanted onto the next ball. But everything I was doing there was trying to keep the game simple. It was only using the centre of the cue ball, so very, very simple stuff. Go away, give this one a go, guys. I really want to hear how you get on. Post your scores online. Or video yourself and send them to me, or post your videos online, I should say. Absolutely love to hear how you're getting on. I'm really passionate about trying to help people improve. I want to create a bit more of an community where we're all sort of sharing our improvements and sharing our results, so that we can all see each other's improvement. So please reach out to me on social media, and of course, if you can, then like and share and everything else with this video. That would be fantastic. Thanks for watching.